All right, guys. You're welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be showing us how to read input from the user in your console application, and also how to display output. So, at some point or the other, while writing your console application, you might have to accept input from the user. For example, if you want to build a simple interest calculator using VB, you might have to ask the user to enter the value for the principal, the rate, then the time. Then when you are done, you do some kind of calculation. Then after doing the calculation, you display your results using you will display the results to the user. So let's get into it. It's going to be a very short one. Okay, so input and output in Visual Basic. This is console. Like I told us in the first video, you can create two types of programs with Visual Basic. I told us that we can create a console application and a graphics user interface application. I said a good example of the console application is your Windows command prompt on the Linux terminal. So your GUI application can be maybe the calculator. I use the calculator as an example. You have so many GUI applications on your Windows. So a good example of a GUI application is your Chrome as well. Is your Chrome. So possibilities are endless, trust me. So let's go back to it. So at some point you might want to in the execution of your VB console application, you might have to accept user input or display some information to the user. So to read input from the user, use the console.read line, make it bold and use programming. So a console.read line function, but to write to the console, use the console.write to write your information, or the console.write line to transfer control to the next line after writing your information. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. That's to the right. Okay. So don't forget, while working with your in VB, the first thing you want to do is to declare all the variables you are going to be using. So let me say the name as string. So my name is a string, and okay, let me do the writing first. Console dot write. Let me say Chris. So if I should run this, you see, it is just giving me Chris. So let me see console dot write again. Halogen. Yes. If I should run this again, you see, I'm getting Chris and I'm getting Halogenous. Both of them are on the same line. You can see after executing this one, he came and he executed this one. Both of them, it is writing it on the same line. So this is the difference between write and write line. This is the difference between them. If I should come and add and make this one write line, for example, and I run this again, you see what I'm getting now? Chris, then after writing Chris for the first time, it transferred control to the next line. You can see what I have over here. You can see what I have over here. Let me. So you can see if I should change this one to right line, you won't really feel the the effect might not reflect, because you know everything is okay. He added an extra line to this because I think the distance between this and this was a line initially. So you can see the difference between right and right line. You can see it's very easy to work with. So this is you showing output or displaying result to your users while working with the console. So now let's go to accept input. Let's go to accept input. So let's assume that you want to accept you want to ask a user to give you their name or their username, for example. Let's use username. So you can say dim username as the username as string. Don't forget, it's supposed to be a string. So let me delete this one. Now, normally you're going to be asking your user to give you a prompt now. So console dot write. So enter your username. So the reason why I'm using write here is because after giving me username, I want it to like, okay, let me just space it a bit. So to give some sort of decency to the output. So console.write. Now you're going to I've declared my variable, then I've given the user some sort of prompt to show that okay, I want you to enter your username. Now the next thing is to read whatever the user is going to be entering. So I'll be using the console.read line. So the console.read line, I'm going to be using it. But don't forget, like I said, if you want to manipulate data, the data has to be stored somewhere. Don't forget, if you want to manipulate data at all using your any programming language, basically, the data has to be stored somewhere. That's the reason why we have variables in the first place. A location in memory where you can just chip in data, then at will you call the data. Now we are receiving data from the user. Since we are collecting data from the user, we need to store the data somewhere. That's the reason why we have variables in the first place. So after doing this console.read line, whatever the user gives us, we store it in the variable name that we created earlier. So let's go to show you. So normally what you will do here is username equals to console.read line. Then when you are done, let's just write it to the console. So console.write line username. So run this, and let me say hello genius, and boom, you can see I have my hello genius over here. I have it. Anything I give to the let's follow this program like line by line. You see this line over here now. What this line is doing is it's basically going into memory, reserve some space in memory. That space, it is a string that will be going into that space. Then after that, our console.write is doing this thing I have over here. Came here to write to the console that okay, enter your username. Now, after displaying enter your username, the program stopped execution at some point temporarily, waiting for you to enter something. Then after entering whatever you want to enter, as soon as you hit the enter key, it will continue execution. Let me run this program again. You see, enter your username. After writing enter your username, the program is waiting for you to enter the username. That is the reason why I have the console.read line here. It doesn't necessarily have to be username, please. It doesn't necessarily have to be username. It can be anything at all. It can be your name. It can be the value of your radius or whatsoever. It can be anything at all. So please, it doesn't have to be username. So I'm just using this one to explain. So we have username, console.read line, then console.write line, username. So just putting this username as an argument to this function. That's what they call it. This is an argument over here, but in case it's big English, just leave that one for now. So okay, big English itself is a blunder. But I don't vex. So username, console.read line, console.write line, and boom, the program is done executing whatever. So let me just say, let me say, for one funny reason. So I have to run this program again. Okay, let me say, boom, you can see it's working just fine. So let's do something very, very little at least before we close the video. So I'm going to be writing a program that will accept the first name and the last name from the user. Then the program will print the first name and the last name together, just as per a full name. So let me see. Okay, let me delete all of this. The um, first name as a string. Um, let this string be maybe the name of your president is Samuel, right? Okay, Samuel. All of us call him Lupo. The last name. Let him be down as first second name. Okay. Yeah, very good. So this our mystery man. Okay. Yes, this mystery man. Now let us print the full name of the mystery man. Like let's display it to the console. So I can just say console dot write. I can do I want to make it as basic as I can for you to understand it better. So first name and then console dot write copy last name. Last name. No. Okay. So if I should run this, you can see what I'm having. Samuel Iyeguniwe. So I need to put a space between L and I. So and you can see this is L over here and this is I over here. So I might just decide to. There are better ways to do this, trust me. But I'm just trying to be um as basic as I can. So if I should run this again, you can see what I have. I'm having my Samuel, I have a space, then I have Iyeguniwe. So whatever I save in the first name variable is going to be displayed here. It will display a space bar, then I'll have my Iyeguniwe. Now, I'm the one supplying the input to the program just directly. What if I want the user to give me the name of the program, to give me the name of the person, like the first name and the last name? So let's take this one out. Let's also take this one out. So let me say console dot write. So I'll be giving the user a prompt. Say enter your first name, then console dot write enter your last name. Okay, so you can see but in between this I'm going to be using first name equals to console dot read line. So after this, so this one will be last. This one will be last. So the next thing we want to do, okay, I think you are done basically. So console dot write, enter your first name. So first name, console dot read line, and you're done. Console dot write, enter your last name, you're done. Then console dot read line. So after that, you come and write the first name, put a space bar, then write the last name. I think the program is good to go. So, okay. So whose name am I going to be using? Oh, let me close this. Let me stop the program. Put some space bar here. It's not compulsory, but let's give our program some sort of decency. Okay, so just so everything will not be looking messy. So you can see what I have over here. Basically, after the colon over here, it's giving me some room. So to demarcate the prompt and the user input. So enter the first name, one of my mentors in mass department. His name is Mojid. And what is that his last name again? Arikewu. Yo, he's looking at me right now. So you see what I have here, Mojida Arikewuyo. It's working just fine. It's working just fine. So I'll bring this video to a close here. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget, if you have questions, please, I would love to hear them. So bye for now. See you in the next one.